system, you will be fine, really and truly, and hopefully those results will come in. As long as you stay consistent with it, something will come through.
No, I love that.
Good habits.
Morning routine, good habits, like I said, winning the day, and a little bit of sales thrown on top, and then jumping into business and sort of just expanding on those habits. Let's talk about property. Where do we even start? Take me right back to the beginning. You're a newbie. You're starting out. You've got this idea in your head. I want to do property, and I want to be a property entrepreneur. How, number one, where does the thought come from, and why property? And then number two, talk to me a little bit about how your property journey has been.
Okay. Property is one of the pillars of wealth. So taking it way back in regards to getting myself on the ladder, I spent some time working with an established company, right? In order to gain some sort of reference to allow the bank to get me some finance so I can put a mortgage on the house. I got a mortgage accepted, right? And this was for a property in Longbridge, 3-bedroom place, was about 84k or so. It's a leasehold. The council was actually the guys who own the freehold, so plenty of years. But even back then, I had this is not too long ago, I had a investment cap on my head. I was thinking, okay, if I live in one of the rooms, I can rent the other two. The rent's all right around here. You know, I can work something out. But during that time as well, I was literally starting my property journey. And I was thinking, I'm going for the deal now. I'm thinking, this is not the best of deals. Despite me getting like 4,000 off the price, but that, I think at the time, was the price, not the value.
Yeah, so it's overvalued just a little bit, isn't it?
It's vital, right? And I was thinking, hold on, I've got some people that I see are getting properties below market value, putting out their money, and essentially got the property for free, and then reinvesting that money and going on and on. But hold on, I'm about to invest £10,000 or so, deposit, decorate the place, you know, creme de la creme furniture, as you may know. I think at that time I was single as well. So, of course, we need a bachelor's pad, you know, similar to this house. Right?
What about the sofa, fridge, TV?
Yeah, I've seen you lying down there just chilling. Yeah. But I needed, you know, it's a stepping stone. It's good. So, you know what? What if I can make that 10,000 into 15,000 and 20,000, you know? What's more important now? And then rent to rent sprung to mind, or rent to HMO, or rent to SA, whatever strategy you choose to go down. And I was thinking, I was reading into this rent to rent stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe I should pull out this mortgage and then start a rent to rent business and get some cash flow. But my goals at the time wasn't just to get an asset for the sake of it. Even though I would have, if I had the knowledge that I could pull out my money, I would have went down that route, but it just wasn't the right property. However, second to that, let me start a rent-to-rent business where I can build a lot of cash flow and then quit the job and become fully self-employed, reduce my time on the tools, have that business ticking over in the background, earning me, you know, between £700, £1,000 the background. And then I do my little jobs here and there to build connections with landlords and so and so. And then invest my time into sourcing. As you and I know, that sourcing is very time intensive.
Very.
So if you're getting a consistent income, then you can spend as much time on sourcing as you wish, as long as you get the deals. You know, many deals fall through, things don't happen. You know, Tom Robs pull to get that, and you know it just doesn't go through as we should. So, but now I'm looking at opportunities where I'm talking to investors under my new sourcing company. I'm thinking, okay, if I look at these deals, I can actually use my set of skills, which is in gas and plumbing and stuff like that, right? And then use that into the strategies which I can mostly profit from, rather than the rent to rent stuff, right? Which, well, rent to SA, that's what strategy I'm doing, as you may know. But as you know, it's very, you need to be good at marketing to really, really get the business booming. You need to be really good at marketing, or you need to know someone in the business that can help you with the marketing. Otherwise, Booking.com, Airbnb, gonna chew up all your profits, right? True. But, you know, it's been okay for me at this moment in time. I'm getting cash flow from the business, which is good. And I'm just looking at opportunities where I can work with investors.
Okay, so let's rewind it. So you've got 2 essays currently.
Yes.
One which is actually quite close here, which we did a live video in actually a while ago.
That's correct, yeah.
You did that up nice, actually, to be fair.
Thanks. Not too bad.
And your quotes all over the wall as well.
Right.
So you got your first one. Talk us through the process and how you're feeling about your first deal. Or was it just plain sailing? Did you get your first deal straight away? And then tell us about how you progressed on to deals after that.
Nothing is plain sailing. And whoever tells you that, right, stay far from that person, right? Because nothing good comes easy, right? Maybe some people get the silver spoon, but in my situation, that will never be the case and has never been the case, right? So how I got my first deal is, as I said, I was educating myself from rent to rent, and I decided to fill my gaps of knowledge by getting a mentor. At the time, the mentor was offering like 3 packages, right? I chose the cheapest one because I had already had some knowledge. A little tip for the property newbies as well. If you do choose to go down a particular strategy, at least invest some time reading about the subject, because you could be paying a mentor when you don't need to.
They're teaching you what you already know.
Yes. When you can get that knowledge and whatever gaps you have, then so and so. But that's not to, hang any mentors out to dry, right? Because you're paying that mentor for their time, their experience, and the money they have invested in their education, right? And I don't know about you, but I would like to spend, £5,000 on mentoring rather than losing £20,000 because of lack of knowledge.
True.
So I decided to get a mentor, my first rent to rent, and it worked out well. And it's just that at that time, there was a whole leap of factors that led to the demise of that, right? It's because, it was a 4-bedroom place in Smethwick opposite the Metropolitan Hospital that's currently being built, right? Good location. Yeah. And, there's like mouse droppings in the property when I was like,
oh, you're joking,
decorating it. The intention was to whitewash the whole thing, but I see mouse droppings, and to be honest, my heart wasn't completely in the deal. And for a number of factors, once again, it's because of the area. I kind of put myself in the customer's shoes, whether I wasn't even too sure what I was going to do. I had a rent to rent mentor at the time, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do SA or rent to HMO. I heard SA's got some good money, so naturally, you want to go down the SA route. So, yeah, the mouse droppings was one factor, and the fear of not working out, which really just made me a bit shook. And the fact that I'm going to spend all this money, and it don't work out, or the area. I was finding reasons why it wouldn't work rather than why it would work.
Was that because of a gut instinct, or was that because of a fear of, it's just my first deal, I've got that fear? Or was there something inside you that just didn't feel like this was right?
It's my gut. It was my gut. It's just something just didn't sit 100%. And even the agent was very dishonest about the history of the property.
Okay.
And I actually found some details of the previous tenants, and I contacted them. I said, have you ever had experience with mice and bed bugs and stuff like that? I said, yeah, they're part of the furniture. Uh, even next door, I knocked on the door and said, what's going on? Is this natural or not? And for Smedic said, yeah, it's natural. The agent tried to tell me that it could be because the hospital is literally digging up on the ground and things start popping out. But no, it's not that. Just the fact that they were dishonest and a number of factors, as I just previously explained, it was just a bit too overwhelming for me. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm backing out of this deal. I'm thankful for those who helped me on the deal. But luckily for me, I got my deposit back and I got my first month's rent. So the only thing I lost was time and money, a few £100, but again, experience. And taught myself another lesson, which was to trust in your instincts. They're there for 100%. A reason. So, but luckily, a few weeks later, I got myself another property, which was in Bearwood, right? But during that time, my friend recently, got a property not far from the first one. I never knew he had one around there, and I called him. I said, how's things going? I said, yeah, I got a property, but it's not doing too good at this moment in time. I never knew he actually had it. And I was like, whoa, that is so crazy, because obviously he was doing roomlets and stuff like that. So it was not the best, apparently. So I was like, okay, that's a blessing. Yeah. It's better than, furnishing the whole place, spending about £4,000 and getting things up and running, just to know that it's a slower return or it's just not going to work. It could have worked, yeah, but at the time the hospital wasn't up and running.
It would be a while, in it?
Yeah, it'd be a little while, and therefore it would take a while for me to get my investment back. So let me look for another opportunity. I found it, and I was like pestering the agent with this one because I needed this now. I needed it. And prior to that, if you're self-employed and you're going for the rent to SA strategy, then ensure that you have enough income coming from your business. So when the agent checks if you're able to afford the rent, right, you will pass. Yeah, I made sure that about £1,800 was going into my account consistently each month to ensure that there would be no reason for me not to get that property.
It's a
right?
good little tip.
I was covering all the angles, right? And even positioning myself as a company, because you got a lot of people doing rent to rent. 100%. So I'm like, it's all good. Obviously, you got the group and that, and people like to share this and that. It's all good. But at the same time, we are all in competition in a way.
Yeah.
Right? And it's good to recognize that. So I'm looking at ways how to distinguish myself from the market and how to, position myself essentially, right? Which is really important. And luckily, I got the keys with 7 days rent free.
Is that it?
That's all, unfortunately. Okay. On my first door, actually, I forgot to tell you, I got 14 days rent-free period.
It's a bit nicer.
Yeah. And I had to give the property in a better condition than I received it, essentially, whitewashed everything, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I got this property up and running in 6 days, painted it, got everyone on board, very thankful for everyone who helped me on that project once again, furnished it, everything. And, when it was live, I had a mad party, right? Because at the time I was just letting in a few contractors during the week, and I had weekend bookings. I was practically winging it, right? And I was winging it because I didn't have a mentor, right? The only bit of guidance I had was from books, YouTube, people online, and also I had joined an academy, if I didn't mention. And during that academy, I had literally one seminar about SA, and looking back on it, that didn't even touch the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to it. It's like broad daylight robbery, essentially, right? And at least give everybody, let everyone know what they're getting into, because this can financially cripple you if you don't know what you're doing. A lot of people fell victim and lost money through this.
You quit shortly after that, didn't you?
I quit shortly after because I began to listen to my instincts and
Again,
see the signs and see
Yeah.
this and see that. And it's just,
just wasn't for you.
I had to get out, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember watching that video. So if anyone hasn't checked it out, actually, it's your first ever one. It's a great video. But I remember you mentioning in there the exchange for value, the exchange of knowledge for the financial exchange just did not match. For example, the price that you paid versus
Yeah.
what you were getting back just did not match.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, you still